In honor of Eric Dane, who is turning 49 today, let's take a look at 3 types of roles he could play next, some media and analytical content we need, and then one overarching theme that ties it all together. 1. Future roles. First, complex dramatic roles. He's shown that he can carry a show dramatically in Euphoria, but now let him play a captivating lead in other complex genres as well. Imagine him as a world-weary, chain-smoking detective in a neon-soaked neo-noir thriller where he's partnered with a young, eager rookie to take down a serial killer, or cast him as an anti-hero of a political thriller where he is a charismatic but morally ambiguous lobbyist who gets caught up in a dangerous game of cat and mouse with a tenacious journalist. Or maybe he could star in a character-driven indie film where he plays a man grappling with a profound loss who forms an unlikely bond with a stray dog that shows up on his doorstep. Dane has the charisma and dramatic chops to make these kinds of roles his own. He can convey vulnerability and strength simultaneously, making his characters deeply relatable even when they're flawed or compromised. So give him the spotlight and watch him shine. Let him be the tortured artist, the conflicted hero, or the charismatic villain. With his range and intensity, Eric Dane can bring any role he takes on to life. Second, genre and blockbuster work. Eric Dane can bring a nuanced and captivating performance to any genre he tackles. In a historical drama, he could play a cunning strategist, a ruthless conqueror, or a brooding romantic hero, navigating the complexities of courtly intrigue. In a major action franchise, he could be a supervillain who is intelligent and compelling enough to challenge the hero. Or in a superhero film, he could play a morally grey character who straddles the line between good and evil. His ability to portray characters with depth and complexity would elevate these genre pieces to new heights. Think of him as Hannibal Lecter or Cesare Borgia, both men whose intelligence and ruthlessness made them formidable antagonists. Or imagine him as a compelling and conflicted villain in a major action franchise. He could bring a sense of danger and unpredictability to the role, making for a thrilling and unforgettable cinematic experience. Third, career-aware roles. Let us see him play into his McSteamy persona in a sophisticated comedy that cleverly subverts audience expectations and challenges the notion of the sex symbol. Imagine him as a middle-aged womanizer who suddenly finds himself in a world where his looks no longer guarantee success with the ladies. Dane has the comedic timing and charm to pull this off, and it would be refreshing to see him take on a self-aware role that plays with his public image. Alternatively, he could step behind the camera to direct and produce, showcasing a new facet of his talent and giving voice to stories that resonate with him. It would be fascinating to see what kind of projects he would champion and how his directorial style would shape those narratives. Now let's talk about media and analytical content we need. First, career evolution. There should be a well-researched, engaging article or documentary that traces the trajectory of his career from his early days on the small screen to his current status as a critically acclaimed dramatic actor. It could explore how he reinvented himself after Grey's Anatomy, shedding his McSteamy TV heartthrob image to take on more challenging and diverse roles. A deep dive into his filmography could reveal fascinating insights into his choices as an actor and the impact he has had on popular culture. For example, there could be an exploration of how he was typecast after playing Mark Sloan, the sex symbol surgeon on Grey's Anatomy, and how he broke free from that mold by taking on challenging and diverse roles, ultimately earning critical acclaim for his portrayal of Cal Jacobs in Euphoria. This type of content would appeal to fans and newcomers alike, providing a deeper appreciation for Dane's talent and contributions to the entertainment industry. Second, masculinity. There should be a compelling analysis of how his 3 most famous characters, Mark Sloan from Grey's Anatomy, Tom Chandler from The Last Ship, and Cal Jacobs from Euphoria, explore different facets of modern masculinity. Each character presents a unique lens through which we can examine societal expectations, norms, and challenges faced by men in contemporary times. Mark Sloan, the charming and charismatic plastic surgeon, embodies a traditional yet evolving form of masculinity. He's successful in his field, confident in his appearance and desires, and takes pride in his romantic conquests. However, he also displays vulnerability and emotional depth, showcasing the complexities that exist within seemingly superficial characters. Tom Chandler, the strong and stoic captain of the USS Nathan James, represents a more rugged and protective form of masculinity. As the leader of his ship, Chandler is responsible for the safety and well-being of his crew during a global pandemic. He exhibits bravery, determination, and a sense of duty in the face of adversity, highlighting the traditional values associated with masculinity. Cal Jacobs, on the other hand, embodies a more toxic and destructive form of masculinity. As a wealthy and influential businessman, he uses his power and status to manipulate and control those around him, including his own family members. His character serves as a cautionary tale, exposing the dangers of unchecked privilege and the consequences of toxic masculinity. By analyzing these three characters through a modern lens, we can gain a deeper understanding of the multifaceted nature of masculinity and the various ways in which it is perceived and practiced in today's society. Each character offers a unique perspective on the challenges, complexities, and potential pitfalls of masculinity, inviting us to engage in a thoughtful and nuanced conversation about this ever-evolving concept. Third, personal resilience. There should be an in-depth profile of him written in the style of GQ or Esquire that explores his openness about mental health and addiction, tracing back to his early struggles with substance abuse and suicidal thoughts as a teenager. This type of piece would shed light on the personal journey that shaped him into the raw and vulnerable performer he is today. For instance, there could be a discussion about his early career in Hollywood when he booked steady work and became successful. But he began abusing alcohol and drugs, leading to his eventual firing from the WB series Jack and Jill. The article could also touch upon his struggles with addiction and how he sought help at age 27, checking into rehab for 6 months. By sharing his story, Dane not only helps break the stigma surrounding mental health and addiction, but also inspires others to seek help and prioritize their well-being. Additionally, the profile could explore how his personal journey informs his acting choices and contributes to the depth and authenticity of his performances. After all, his willingness to be vulnerable and honest in his work has resonated with audiences and critics alike, earning him critical acclaim and a devoted fan base. Now, for the overarching theme that ties it all together: character archetypes. Each of his iconic characters can be used as a case study to explore timeless literary and screen archetypes. Take Mark Sloan, for example. He embodies the flawed golden boy archetype, initially presented as a successful and admired surgeon, but later revealing a darker side marked by arrogance and entitlement. Analyzing his character's journey can shed light on the complexities of human nature and the dangers of unchecked ambition and privilege. Next, consider Tom Chandler from The Last Ship. As the resolute leader of a naval vessel tasked with saving humanity from a deadly virus, Chandler embodies the hero archetype. By examining his character's actions and decisions, we can explore themes of duty, sacrifice, and the resilience of the human spirit in the face of overwhelming challenges. Finally, Cal Jacobs from Euphoria embodies the shadow self archetype, representing the dark and destructive aspects of human behavior. Through his manipulative and abusive actions, Cal serves as a cautionary tale, allowing us to confront the potential consequences of unchecked power and the importance of acknowledging and addressing our inner darkness. Thank you for watching.